Welcome to Vermontitude, a collaborative effort between Great Eastern Radio, the Brattleboro Reformer, and BCTV to bring you the stories behind the stories on the topics you want to learn more about. Because there's always more, so there'll always be Vermontitude. Hosted by me, Peter Fish Case. Welcome to Vermontitude. New episodes drop every Tuesday and can be found by going to Vermontitude.com, Reformer.com, Brattleboro.tv, and locally on Comcast Channel 1078. We come to you from our studios at the Innovation Box on Landmark Hill. I'm Peter Fish Case, and each week I cover the topics that are of concern to Windham County and the towns that reside within its borders. Today, we're going to be learning a little bit about the Community Asylum Seekers Project. Joining us is the board chair here locally in Brattleboro, Francie Marbury. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course. Let's start with Community Asylum Seekers Project. I mean, it's fairly self-explanatory, but can you drill in a little bit?
You bet. You bet. So the Community Asylum Seekers Project was founded back in 2016, and particularly to serve people who are seeking asylum, who are fleeing situations in their home countries where they will be persecuted, or certainly death is also a possibility. Many people come in across our southern border, and they have the right to request asylum in this country. But requesting asylum doesn't necessarily mean that you have support waiting for you when you arrive.
Right.
So that's where we come in. The Community Asylum Seekers Project provides housing and some financial assistance. People have to wait at least 6 months, and usually it's closer to a year, even to be able to work. So you arrive here, and then you can't support yourself. So
right.
Again, that's where we fit in and help with that.
Okay. So current air we're breathing right now is a little difficult to get a good lungful of good, clean asylum type air.
Yeah.
How is that affecting what you guys are doing on a day-to-day basis?
Well, it's having a huge impact because we figure that the best chance that the people we support have is if they have all the legal documentation they need. And once they've filed for asylum, they have that legal documentation. They should have the right to stay in this country until their asylum case is heard. So we have been working really hard to get that documentation to as many people as possible who are getting in touch with us.
Okay. Are you finding it difficult for them to get this documentation? I'm just asking questions because
Sure.
I feel like
Sure.
there's a lot of questions to be answered.
Yeah.
So is it harder and harder to get these currently? Again, we're only like 100 days deep into this thing, so how does that look?
So the initial documentation they get is basically just filling out a bunch of government forms.
Right.
And the actual process of receiving asylum is one that takes years. Mm-hmm. We have 2 families recently who have just received asylum, but that's after having been here for 5 years.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I often say that our government is confusing and works slowly, but that is the new definition of it,
yeah,
I feel.
It really is. And it's it's a process where there are just no guarantees. You can have a really well-prepared case to present to the court, but then it's up to the immigration judge to make that decision. So,
right.
So really, what we're seeing, it's interesting. I think in some ways, my fear level is almost higher than the people who we're supporting.
Sure.
Because they've been through a lot.
They've
right?
been through it.
They
exactly.
have been through a lot to get here. And at this point, they just want to, work hard. They want to make sure that they're in compliance with all of the requirements from ICE and Homeland Security. And then we keep our fingers crossed and support them when we can.
All right. So we were talking, and I think we had figured it out before we went on air here, and that CASP, which is the acronym, has been around for a while, but it's fairly new to the Brattleboro area.
No, actually, I'm sorry, I was unclear about that ahead of time. It originally started up in Saxon's River and that area, just because that's where the people who had the idea were living.
Okay.
But we soon found that the people we were supporting, it made much better sense for them to be living in the Brattleboro area, where they had access to public transportation, where things were in a walkable distance, stores and that kind of thing. So our office, it actually moved to Brattleboro before the pandemic, so maybe right around 2019.
Okay. All right. So it's been around for a while. And of course, organizations like this don't run on goodwill and feelings. They need a little cash from time to time, which is like one of the reasons we're talking today, because you guys are rolling out a little fundraiser for the month of May. Can you explain what that is?
I'd be happy to explain that. So we are, for the first time in southern Vermont, trying an arts marathon. And this has been a very successful fundraiser up in central Vermont, where there's another asylum support organization. And the way it works is we're looking for artists who are really committed to practicing their work on a regular basis, and also really committed to social justice and the mission of the Community Asylum Seekers Project. Once we sign them up, they commit then to producing artwork 5 days a week for the month of May. And during that time, they will contact people to sponsor them, friends, family, any followers they already have, and in order to sponsor them, those folks then will make a donation to CASP. So it's really, it's not really an exchange of goods. It's an exchange of artwork, and so far has been a wonderful community building exercise, as we've brought artists together to share what they plan to do and how they're getting the word out to their sponsors. So that's it in a nutshell. Is there anything I missed there?
I don't know. You tell me. It sounds like it's pretty cut and dry. It's just a great way for an artist and kind of weaving in two communities to kind of do good for this.
And at the same time put out their own artwork too. Right. It seems to me like it's a real win-win situation all the way around.
So are you currently looking for artists now, or are you just getting the word out?
We are currently looking for artists. We have, I believe at this point, about 18 people signed up. We'd love to have as many as 30.
All right.
There is information on how to sign up on our website, caspvt.org. And I'm happy to respond to any questions people would have. I don't know if it's, putting out an email address over the air makes sense, but.
Well, I mean, nice thing about doing a digitally formatted show is we get to put something in the comments.
All right.
So if you would like to give out your email address, we'll make sure it winds up in the comments.
You bet.
Well.
You bet.
So
I'll put it there.
All right. So this has been a program that's been around for a while. How long have you been involved with CASP?
Well, I've been on the board for CASP. So, we're a very small grassroots nonprofit. I've been on the board since 2018.
Okay.
For quite a while.
All right.
And I'm currently serving as the president of the board.
All right. So now comes the time where I put you on the spot.
Okay.
All right. So get your mind open to this question. I'm sure you've helped out quite a few families coming into the country. Do you have a favorite story? Do you have a favorite moment? I'm sure that they're all very fulfilling. I'm not trying to diminish anything that you've done, but there always has to be that sort of one standout thing.
Well, I tell you what's really kept me going, particularly this past year, is we welcomed a couple back when I first got involved back in 2018, and they went through the process, got their work permits, have been working, very self-sufficient. And then last year, there was a brief time during the Biden administration when there was a family reunification project going on.
Right.
And one of the couple had left her 2 children behind in Central America with their grandparents. So we were able to help her apply to have them come to this country, and they arrived just about a year ago in April.
All right.
So, and are currently in the Brattleboro schools. And one reason, it's my favorite story is because I've been able to connect with these two kids, and I took them cross-country skiing over February vacation out at the outing club and taken them hiking, and we went up to see maple syrup being made a few weeks ago. So, that's one of the reasons I'm in it, is for those personal stories, for sure.
And you bring up a point within your favorite story that, a lot of people don't think of. An asylum seeker as often has like maybe one. I mean, they do come in families, but sometimes only one can afford to go, and then have to leave others behind to get this thing established. I mean, how often do you hear that with the work you do?
Boy, I think that's probably the most common case, Peter.
Yeah.
Really. We have a new asylum seeker arriving tomorrow who is 18 years old, but he's already been in this country 3 years. He arrived as an unaccompanied minor when he was 15. So, what his full story is, I don't know. Who he left behind, why he left, we'll find out more. And some of these stories we obviously can't share, but
right.
But that's a good indication of just how fraught it is.
All right. Well, which makes the reason you're showing up today even that much more important. You need money, and so this is going on for the entire month of May. Again, just give us the details, where they can find the details.
Sure. Well, first of all, even though it's starting May 1st, people can sign up to participate at any point during the month, for sure, or to sponsor an artist. So if you would like to sponsor an artist, go to our website, caspvt.org, and there will be a banner right up on the top of the website that says May Arts Marathon.
All right.
And if you click on that, it will take you to a page that has all of the artists listed. And you might have to do 2 clicks to get to the artists, but it's right there. You choose which artist you would like to sponsor.
Right.
Who is, oh man, sorry about that.
That's
we'll
all right.
Just ignore it. So you can read about the artists and the kind of work they're promoting, and you can sponsor one artist, or you can sponsor a number of them. And it's we'd love to see you online.
All right. Well, that's good. Maybe that's somebody calling in to sponsor an artist right now.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, Francie, we really like to thank you for jumping on Vermontitude and the good work that the Community Asylum Seekers Project is doing here in Southern Vermont and throughout all of Vermont. So thank you for coming in, and we'll put links and ways to contact Francie. And if you'd like to be an artist and get involved in this, there'll be all information in the comments section below. Thank you so much.
So great. Thank you for having me. It's great. Thank you all for watching.